Molo Sanbonani, hello, how's it? Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the Monday edition of Vuka Nazo, only here on the Big Daddy Liberty Show. My name is Sihle Ngobese, aka Big Daddy Liberty. Remember, this show looks at the headlines and gives you that analysis which you'll get nowhere else except here. If you want to find us on the Big Daddy Liberty Show, hey, do me a favor. Go to our website. That's www.bigdaddyliberty.com. And of course, do me another big favor. Whether you're watching this on Twitter, YouTube, or on Facebook, hit that like button and of course, share the stream. With that being said, how about we get straight into the news? All right, to begin here this morning in what is a relatively odd story and indeed one which is likely going to blow up. The rift within the Zulu royal household taking an odd turn over the weekend with Prince Simakade effectively coronating himself by engaging in a particular ritual, that's the entering of the crown, in order to, as I said, crown himself the king of the Zulu nation. Now, of course, this matter is one which is causing relative division within the Zulu nation, as of course we'll all know that it is Prince Misizulu Kazwelithini, now King Misizulu Kazwelithini, who had actually been anointed the king of the Zulu nation with his ceremony of entering the crown, indeed set to take place on the 20th of August. This event, therefore, preempting that in a sense and causing a bit of confusion within the Zulu nation, as you can hear, my struggling to even get my brain around this particular matter. The piece in the Independent newspaper actually said the following about events that happened over the weekend, that the Prince Simakade, according to witnesses, was ushered into the crowd at the eNyokeni Palace in Nongoma around 10 p.m. on Saturday. This was initially meant to be at midnight, of course. It was said he would enter the crowd. From there, a handful of royal family members and Zulu regiments loyal to his cause started calling him Bayede, the Zulu royal salutation reserved for a reigning king. End of quote. Now, again, it is a confusing thing to behold, especially when the events around the coronation of the Zulu King were meant to be and should be a public event, and that was set and scheduled, for the 20th of August, as I had said, where the coronation of the Zulu King, Mrs. Zulu Kazwelithini, was meant to happen. Indeed, it should give one pause, and the journalists who were there should have been, and rightly were, skeptical of events given the small and paltry numbers of people who rocked up for this supposed coronation. Have a look at this video of supposed Amabuto rocking up to the event. Now, the Amabuto, guys, in real terms, are the Zulu regiments. Now, this is an army of the Zulu King who number well in excess of hundreds of thousands. So the fact that the supposed coronation only saw a handful of basically guys rock up to this event should have been the first warning bell that there's something perhaps amiss in this. And indeed, journalists who were at this event, who maybe even put these hard questions to this segment of the Zulu family that was supporting Prince Simakade, were apparently met with a bit of hostility, with indeed one journalist from independent group, Usike Mavuso, indicating that he had to flee this event for basically in fear of his life. This is a tweet he put up in this regard. Another journalist Uzimasa Matiwane, also indicating some ill treatment from the royal family in this regard. Now, there's something seriously amiss here, and for as much as I'm not going to take sides on this particular issue, and I'd rather let Zulu leadership take to the fore to clarify things, especially because for most of us as Zulu subjects, we know that King Mrs. Zulu Kazwelithini is the king who's going to be crowned, coronated, and ordained. It strikes me as odd that these divisions within the Zulu royal family are playing out as publicly as they are. And it doesn't bode well, really, for unity of the Zulu nation going forward, especially at a time where that unity is going to be tested on the political front. For instance, with a province like KwaZulu-Natal looking to see even a change of political leadership in 2024. The question remains here, at a time where there's so much change and turmoil, will we at least see a Zulu royal household which brings order, unity, and peace in a province like ours? Now, as I said, this story is developing and it's going to have very interesting consequences, especially closer to the 20th of August when the actual Zulu King is coronated in this province. What happens then? Will these factions rock up and disrupt that event? This is something you need to keep an eye on. All right, we move on slightly, and a bit of an update. The Hawks have announced that a further 3 individuals have been arrested. Now, you'll know last week that the Hawks pounced on 22 alleged instigators of those violent July riots that cost billions of rands in damage, some of the worst damage worldwide ever recorded in public riots. And of course, it saw 350 plus people murdered during that riotous event. 22 of those alleged instigators of that incident were arrested. Well, Hawks have arrested another 3, as I said. 2 of those were said to be from the province of KwaZulu-Natal and 1 from the northwest. Now, the piece into this, which of course is on News 24, went on to say that the trio faces the same charges as the 22 accused arrested last week, and those charges, of course, include the conspiracy to incite public violence, inciting public violence, and, of course, inciting arson. Now, Mbambo, this is, of course, the Hawks spokesperson, Brigadier Thandi Mbambo, went on to say that they did not say, if the suspects had any political affiliations or were prominent public figures, end of quote. Now, that last quote is important because a lot of people have been asking the question. It's all fine and well to round up these individuals who are said to be inciting the violence, instigating it via various communications methods. You'll remember those WhatsApp voice notes, for example, that were goading people on to loot and to destroy things and the like. But there were also very prominent political figures who were also inciting allegedly violence at the time. For example, Ututuzile Zuma, the daughter of former President Jacob Zuma. She, for example, may find herself in a heap of trouble. And indeed, the question, though, is, where is she insofar as the 22 people, now 25, who've been rounded up by the police? The Hawks had indicated that she is being investigated after someone had deposed an affidavit against her, but it's kind of odd to see that some of the more prominent people, I mean, in her case, she was tweeting and putting videos up on social media, for goodness sake, of herself inciting this stuff, allegedly, since I also have to use that moniker, that expression rather. It's just surprising, therefore, that we're not seeing someone like that face the music as readily as these other 25. Will we see those arrests? Will we see more prominent political figures be at the forefront to face the music? These are questions I think we need to hold our breath on as the Hawks continue their investigation. All right, folks, a slightly shorter episode this morning on the Monday edition of the show. We'll end it off here for now, but plenty of stories to track over the course of the week, and you can stay tuned here every morning from 7 a.m. on Vuka Nazo as we unpack those and give you the solid analysis that will start your news day. If you want to find us and get in touch, you'll find us, of course, at www.bigdaddyliberty.com. And of course, if you have a look look at the descriptor of this video. You'll find all of our social media details. With that being said, have a great Monday, enjoy your day, and I'll see you tomorrow on Vuka Nazo.